Hi all, it's Jason here, one of your co-chairs for UIA. Thanks for giving your time if you attended any of the sessions earlier in the week. If you didn't, or you just wanted a reminder, this is going to be a little bit of a demo of the Hopin platform. And what I'll do is show you, like if you follow the link that I sent to you before the events, or we ran in the event, you would get to this screen, and I'll send you another one if you can have a little look around if you want to. What you'll need to do is put in the password, which is EIA 2020, and you will enter the event, and you'll see a logged out version with a bit of a schedule, booths for the sponsors, a few sponsor stuff up there. You can just see the schedule and those sorts of things. You'll probably see a couple of tickets when you first come in, which will be a speaker and a workshop host ticket. If you do not have a Hopin account, you will be asked to create one. But once you've created a Hopin account, you can just log in with those details and you can see all the different events you will have in there. So if I go to enter the event, what you'll see is the core of Hopin. So this is the reception area. There's a kind of like persistent chat, polls and people window. There's currently no people in there, so but you can collapse that down if you want to. And there's some basic details in here, including the logos and the schedule as well. Okay. The other things, the main work will be happening on the stage. And the stage will allow us to stream live material from an external stream in, or you can, hop on the mic and video if you go via a backstage, which then has a 10-second delay, or we can embed videos into here. So we're working through some details on that, so that for pre-recorded talks, we can try to run them so that everyone is viewing at the same time. There are advantages to potentially kind of jumping back and forth, but we want to try and bring people along at the same time so it feels like a live experience. So we're working through some of the details there. Oops. And then there's this thing called sessions, an area called sessions, which is it's got different areas which we can set up. So things like, say, a breakout group on workshops, or breakout group on pre-recorded talks, or breakout group for promoting the event, catching up, or synchronizing on content. You can see here how many people are in there. And if you go into one of these, what you can do is you can go in there and you can potentially, if you open this up, you could be having a chat around the session. You can still see messages going on around the core event, but you can have like more contained messages specifically about the session. Now, what you can do in here is you can share audio and video. So I don't know what's going to happen now because we're on Loom as well. And what happens is essentially be like being on a Zoom. So, oh, there's two of me. There we go. What you can do is you can then have a certain number of people can get up and have their audio and video shared where other people are in the chat. But we were thinking about kind of making it like a fishbowl. So, when the slots are taken, if you're not talking, not really interacting, you can drop down to the chat and someone else can come up, and we'll try and find ways to moderate that. So the important thing is we've been doing some of the tests, and some awful feedback we've been having in terms of audio feedback, not necessarily the feedback from yourselves. But it's really important that you leave, and you should be able to see a button here that says leave, or it might be behind one of these things. So if you leave here, just make sure you close this down. And sometimes Hopin seems to open new browser tabs. Make sure the tabs are closed, because you can have awful feedback if you go into a session. So you can see other sessions, and we can set the limits on number of people in there and all sorts. Networking allows people to connect with people randomly, one-on-one for a set period of time, almost like chat roulette, and you get like 3 minutes or so, and you'll be paired up with someone randomly, and then that will end, and you'll have a choice of whether you want to connect to them for follow-up, and then their details will be shared with you within Hopin for later use. And then there's the expo area where there's some sponsor booths, which can be prioritized according to how much they're paying and that side of things. And then within there, you can have, I think, some live events in there as well, similar to the sessions, but you can embed video, and they can have some sort of calls to actions, competitions in here as well, so you can register interest, etc. So really that's it. Like there's reception, there's a main stage, there's these breakout sessions and networking. And then it's really about how we set up things within there. If you're pre-recording your talks, we'll sort that out for you. We'll queue it up. And then what we'll be asking you to do is be available for a Q&A session after your talk or after a group of talks. We're just kind of fiddling with the schedule right now. And if you're on the main stage, you're doing a live talk, it's a little bit more complex because you've got to go through the backstage. But we'll send you a link prior to the talk time, and then we'll let you in onto the main stage and broadcast that at the appropriate time. And then to be determined, but our thinking right now is that we would then end the broadcast on the main stage and send you over to a Q&A section within the sessions area, so that can continue while maybe other things happen on the main stage, and myself or whoever is running the main stage can kind of set that up. Okay, so that's Hopin, and this was just using Loom. This is the first time I've ever used Loom to record anything really quick on Rachel's advice, so I'm going to see how that goes.